For most of the 20th century, rent and income moved together. In many Western countries, rent absorbed roughly 20 to 25% of income. Today, in major cities, that number is often 40 to 60%. Wages didn't collapse, housing didn't suddenly improve. The relationship broke. Rent became unaffordable not because people stopped working, but because housing stopped being priced for workers. For decades, housing prices were constrained by local incomes. Landlords couldn't raise rent indefinitely because tenants simply couldn't pay it. Income acted as a natural ceiling, not by law, by reality. What people earned defined what was possible. As long as housing depended on people living in it, prices had to make sense locally. That ceiling disappeared when housing shifted from shelter to asset. Homes became something you could buy, leverage, refinance, and sell for return. At that point, the reference changed. Prices stopped responding to wages and started responding to capital. The question was no longer, what can people afford? It became, what return does this property need to justify its price? Rent is no longer what tenants can afford. It's what the asset requires to make financial sense. If property values rise by 8 to 10% per year, rent has to follow. Not because your income increased, not because life got better, but because the price of ownership must be validated. Rent stopped reacting to work. It started reacting to expectations. That's why rent keeps rising even when wages don't. The obvious solution sounds simple: build more housing. And building helps, but it doesn't reset the pricing logic. New homes enter the same system. They are financed, leveraged, and priced for return. They are not priced for affordability. More supply can slow rent growth. It doesn't reverse it. That's why even cities that build aggressively still see rising rents. The problem isn't the number of homes. It's how they're priced. To restore affordability through wages alone, incomes would need to rise as fast as housing assets. That would require sustained wage growth of 6 to 8% per year. Modern economies don't deliver that without severe inflation. Wages move slowly. Assets, when leveraged, do not. Work cannot compete with financialized housing. This is why working harder no longer guarantees housing security. Not because work lost value, but because it stopped being the benchmark. Housing doesn't ask what you earn, it asks what capital can extract. That feeling that something is off is not personal failure. It's a rational response to a system that changed while expectations stayed the same. The system didn't collapse, it evolved. And it evolved away from workers.